Billy is going to be a little late, but I don't think anybody cares if we keep him just a little bit longer. The other thing is, we all expressed that Billy left us early. We all at least expected another 17 years. And that's because that's what we believed. But he left us. And I thought about that a lot this week. And I realized Billy really led probably the equivalent of 3 lifetimes of the rest of us. So that makes him somewhere around 320 years old. So I say he made it, and we'll miss him desperately. Nancy?
I am, as all his nieces would probably say, I am one of Billy Frank's favorites, niece. I felt like I needed to come up and say something on behalf of Billy Frank, the one that we knew, the one that we called Uncle, the one that we knew before he became the chairman of Fish Commission and he became this icon, the one that we knew that fought on the rivers in their canoes, the ones that were getting beat up in the middle of the night when they come down Frank's Landing and raid the homes, literally, with their SWAT teams or whatever. My poor aunt, they would wake her up in the middle of the night and go through these homes looking for Indians to arrest. I'd like to give acknowledgement to my Aunt Mesa, who's sitting here. She's our last elder in our family, the last one that we have. I'd also like his sons to stand up. Sugar, Tobin, Frank, would you stand up? Willie, Frank, Tanu, would you turn around and look at the crowd? I want them to know who you are when they see you. This is such a hard time for the family. And it's just such a heavy load that they have to carry. But the work's not done yet. There's still work to go on after this. We'll take Uncle to the cemetery and we'll bury him. But after that, there's a lot more things that have to happen. And these young men need that support. My uncle was the youngest son of Willie and Angie Frank. His siblings, Fritz Johns, Don McCloud, Andrew McCloud, all wait for him on the other side. His wives, Norma Frank and Sue Crystal, they too are waiting, along with his beloved daughter, Maureen and Kabakut. There's probably a lot more people, but those are the immediate ones that went before him. You know, Uncle was never sad. I said, I never seen my uncle cry. Never. At any funeral. He was shaking everybody's hand, making everybody feel good. I never seen him cry until I went to my uncle's birthday party and had this dream about Sue Crystal. And we was in a room like this, and it was packed with all these people. Senator Inouye, Patricia Zell, Willie and Uncle were all there, Sugar, Aunt Mesa, everybody's there, Allison and Suzette, we're all there. And I come walking in, and in the corner over here was a person sitting. And she had just passed. And I turned around and I looked. I said, Sue, what are you doing here? She goes, can you see me? I said, yes, I can see you. She goes, no, nobody else can. I go up to Billy and Willie and I just try to hug them and tell them how much I love them. And she looked good. She looked like the old Sue I knew. And so we talked for a little while. She said, you need to tell them what I told you. So I called up Willie and I told him this dream I had. But at the birthday party, I walked up to Uncle and I said, Uncle, did Willie tell you about this dream I had? And he goes, no. And it was a long time ago, so maybe Willie told him and he forgot. He said, tell me the dream. And so I told him. And that's the first time I seen my uncle cry. And it just touched my heart. And I said, Uncle, I didn't mean to make you cry. And he goes, it's okay, but I'm glad you told me that dream. So remember your dreams. Somebody's going to come and tell you something, send you a message. And I just wanted you to know that he was our uncle. He was our father. He was a brother. And we too will miss him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Before I ran for council, he used to take me to lunch. He used to call me and meet with me. He used to tell me, this is what you need to do. Just go in there and give him hell, niece. Just go do it. This is how you do it. You just grab the bull by the horns and you wrestle it down. I do that today, not realizing that I barge into meetings or that I barge in anywhere just to give my peace of mind. We used to go hunting with them when we were little kids, spotlighting. I didn't know it was illegal. We'd be riding in the back of the car, him and Dad, because we didn't have nothing, literally nothing. The food that they got was from the land. And so we would, and one time they said, right there, babe, hold the spotlight right there. And so I got the spotlight like that, and they're getting their guns ready. I said, right there? And they said, yeah. And I said, oh, look, there's some more green. And I turned the spotlight like that. And they got really mad because, of course, the deer left. But they were one of a kind. Somebody said, well, who's going to take his place? No one can ever, ever take the place of somebody who's passed on. No one. But people can learn from him. And I think it's going to be something, because I think you're going to see how the state changes after this. I think there's going to be some good changes for our people. And Uncle Billy won't have to go in there and say, God damn it. But there's one more story I want to tell you. In the middle of the night, at 7 o'clock at night, Senator Metcalf had this meeting. And they called me up and they say, you need to come to this meeting. I said, okay. And my daughter was young. She goes, I'll ride with you, Mom. So we came down here to the state capitol. And Senator Metcalf had all these hunters in there. All these hunters. So my uncle's sitting up there giving testimony. Let me tell you, this room is packed with hunters. There must have been 20 Indians there at the most. And he has this long braid. And it was horrible, horrible what they were doing to him. It got so bad that people got up and had to stand behind him because Metcalf wouldn't call point of order. But if we said anything when they were talking, he'd call point of order or have us escorted out. So when we're leaving now, I walked up to one of the Capitol Police and I says, I believe we need an escort out of here because I don't know if we're going to make it to our cars. That's how bad it was. So that's the kind of stuff he went through. And just remember those words he said to you. Because he didn't say it just to talk. He said it because he meant it. And it came from his heart. So Aunt Maisel, I want to say I love you. And I want to acknowledge when they talk about women that are true leaders, we're not really leaders, or I guess, I don't know. We're the ones that push the men to do things. Am I right? Ask any of these guys up here, they'll tell you. But Uncle Billy had those women that were pushing him like that. I remember him being in the room and all these women are sitting around here telling him, this is what you need to do. And you just go out there and do it. Am I wrong, Aunt Maisel? But anyway, there's a couple ladies I'd like to give acknowledgement to who were also in the fishing rights struggle. But this one lady, she was, man, I watched her fight like 10 game agents. They were trying to get her in a car. And we're all standing there wondering, they already got our parents and our uncles and aunts in a car. And I'm like 12 years old, so we go over there and we're trying to pull the game agents off them. And somehow she's up in the air like that. And we're trying to free her from these agents. And my mother's telling them, don't you take her anywhere. You just take her straight to jail. We're watching you. Because we knew they beat our people up and everything. We knew they did this secretly. But and that was be Suzanne Sataikum. Suzanne, would you stand up? They wouldn't give us a Grange one day to raise money. We're raising money to get these guys out of jail. Raising money for nets. Raising money for boats. And she goes, Dawn, take me over there. So she goes over there, and these big tears start running down her eyes, and we're looking at her, and she's talking to the lady. Final lady gives her the keys and said, here. So we go back over there. We get in the car. She rubs her eyes like that because my dad said, are you okay? She rubs her eyes. She goes, oh, yeah, I can turn those off and on when I want. Then I'd like to acknowledge Ramona Bennett. Right there. There she is. There's Ramona. So on behalf of the family, this has been a real blessing. All the speakers. I don't think I left anything out. If I did, I apologize. But I want to tell you, Sugar, Willie, and Tanu, I love you. And I'm here if you need help. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Raymond McCloud and the Puyallup Sweat family, please.
Thank you, thank you. We're going to sing a song. You don't have to stand up, but I just want to see a couple of things about the fishermen when they all got thrown in jail. It's not only the men, but the woman. When all the men got thrown in jail, the woman took over. And they ran the rivers. They ran the nets. And they got thrown in jail too, so let's give a hand to our women. My name is Raymond McCloud Sr. I'm the youngest son of Andrew McCloud. Now my uncle's with my dad and with my Uncle Don. And I hope they miss us. We're going to sing an Eagle song. You don't have to stand up. We're going to honor our uncle.
Dennis. We're going to have a prayer of closing for this part, and then Billy will go and proceed to his next part of his journey. But we will still then pray and retire the colors. And so please feel welcome to stay. Those of you who are going to the grave service, you can imagine some of the logistics as we're leaving. But the procession will go first. Allow them to go when they go, and then I believe the pallbearers will need to be get ready, please. And Dennis, would you do the closing prayer? Thanks.